7,000 tons of Parisian iron was sold to a private scrap dealer in May of 1925 for $70,000, roughly $1.2 million today. The seller did not own a single bolt of the monument. How did a soft-spoken fugitive with dozens of aliases convince a cautious businessman to buy France's grandest monument, and then, just weeks later, pull off the exact same scam a second time? The answer lies in the career of Victor Lustig, a man who realized that the most valuable commodity on earth is human vanity. In the spring of 1925, Lustig arrived in Paris with a counterfeit government letterhead and an extraordinary gift for reading greed. The French government was publicly complaining about the maintenance costs of the Eiffel Tower, built for the 1889 World's Fair and never intended to stand permanently. Lustig saw his opportunity in a newspaper clipping. Posing as the Deputy Director General of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs, he invited 5 prominent scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting at the prestigious Hotel de Crillon. Among them was André Poisson, a wealthy but insecure businessman desperate to make a name for himself in the Parisian elite. Lustig focused entirely on Poisson, playing the role of a corrupt, weary bureaucrat looking for a bribe to secure the contract. Poisson fell for the trap, delivering $70,000 for the scrap metal bid and an additional $20,000, roughly $340,000 today, in a direct cash bribe. By the time Poisson realized he had bought nothing, Lustig had already boarded a train to Vienna with a suitcase of cash. Lustig was an aristocrat of the underworld, born in Bohemia and fluent in 5 languages. Before conquering Paris, he made his fortune on transatlantic ocean liners, selling wealthy passengers a legendary contraption known as the Rumanian Box. This small mahogany chest, fitted with complex brass dials, supposedly duplicated $100 bills. Lustig would demonstrate the machine by inserting a blank piece of paper in a real bill, which would emerge perfectly copied 6 hours later. He sold these boxes for $30,000 each, roughly $500,000 today, knowing his victims would not realize the machine was empty until he had safely disembarked. While hiding in Vienna, Lustig kept an eye on French newspapers, waiting for the Eiffel Tower scandal to break. To his astonishment, there was only silence. Poisson was so deeply humiliated by his own gullibility that he refused to report the crime. Realizing the coast was clear, Lustig returned to Paris, gathered a new group of scrap dealers, and sold the tower a second time. This second victim immediately went to the authorities, forcing Lustig to flee across the Atlantic. In America, Lustig targeted the most dangerous man in Chicago, Al Capone. Lustig approached the mob boss to double a $50,000 investment, roughly $800,000 today, in a fictitious stock deal. Capone handed over the cash. Instead of running, Lustig placed the bills in a bank deposit box for 2 months. He then returned the entire $50,000, apologizing with deep humility and claiming the deal had failed. Capone was so astonished by this rare honesty that he insisted Lustig take a $5,000 reward, roughly $80,000 today, which was Lustig's plan all along. Lustig codified his success into his famous 10 Commandments of the con. He advised to always listen patiently, never look bored, let the target reveal their political views first, and never boast of wealth. But by the early 1930s, Lustig had pivoted to a massive counterfeiting operation in New York, producing fake currency that threatened the American banking system. Secret Service agents pursued him, but it was a lover's jealousy that broke him. When Lustig's mistress, Billie Mae, discovered he was having an affair, she made an anonymous call to federal authorities. In May of 1935, federal agents cornered Lustig on a New York street with a suitcase of counterfeit bills. Though he briefly escaped from a federal detention house using a rope of bedsheets, he was recaptured and sentenced to 20 years in Alcatraz. The man who had stayed in Europe's grandest suites spent his final years in a cold concrete cell in San Francisco Bay. He died of pneumonia in 1947, his death certificate listing his occupation simply as apprentice salesmen. In the end, the grandest illusionist of his era discovered that while you can sell the same monument twice, the final bill must always be paid in full, and the house never refunds a bribe.